On Sunday, Mary Jane started a series of teaching with us, a fantastic message about the Holy Spirit. And she started reading descriptions by different characters, maybe from films or from popular culture, and really just one-sentence descriptions that led us to them. And in a sense, she challenged us, could we write something like that about the Holy Spirit? And so tonight in the session, I think that's something that we should do together. Create a one-sentence description of what we think, who we think the Holy Spirit is. And, Mary Jane said on Sunday that it is almost like unrolling a piece of paper, like a scroll, and gradually revelation gets greater and greater. And I imagine that over the coming weeks, our understanding of the Holy Spirit and who he is will grow greater. So we won't spend too long on that description because I'm sure it will change as our understanding increases over the coming weeks. So let's create a description, see how the changes come, see how God reveals himself to us over the weeks. In Jesus' teaching in John 14, Mary Jane read on Sunday, he's preparing his disciples in a sense for the moment he goes. He's been teaching them about his death and his resurrection, although they don't understand it yet. But he says, I'm going to send another one, the same as me. And of course, as Mary Jane said on Sunday, Jesus has been to them friend, helper, advocate, comforter, and lots of other things as well. And he said, I'm sending the Holy Spirit to do the same thing for you. Another one, the same as me. On Sunday, Mary Jane spoke about the change in relationship that happened between the Old and the New Testament. The relationship with man and the Holy Spirit is different now than it was then. In the Old Testament, we see the presence of God in the temple and later the tabernacle. We see the Holy Spirit coming on people to do miraculous things and some of the incredible events we see there in the Old Testament. But in the New Testament, we see the Holy Spirit comes to live in us. We are the temple of the Holy Spirit. Mary Jane read from 1 Corinthians 6 verse 19. Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? Mary Jane also spoke about the Holy Spirit is a person. He has feelings and emotions. He speaks to us. She gave us the example of Acts 13, where she spoke to the disciples of the church in Antioch. He has a mind and a will. 1 Corinthians 2 verse 11 tells us that. So in your groups this week, we're just going to talk about the unraveling revelation we have of the Holy Spirit and who he is. But actually, the key is what Mary Jane finished with on Sundays. How does this change the way that we live day to day, week by week? So in your groups, I want you first of all to discuss or write a description, a one-sentence description of who is the Holy Spirit. As I said before, don't take too long on this because it will probably be something we rewrite as a group over the coming weeks. Secondly, if the Holy Spirit is a person, how can we get to know him better? And the last thing I'd like you to think about is the Holy Spirit is described as another paraclete, another one the same as. And Mary Jane spoke of the various translations that we have. And in a sense, it's impossible to translate that word, which is why we have so many words translated. But these are the words: friend, helper, advocate, comforter, intercessor. So if all of those are contained within that word paraclete, how will knowing that and knowing him change my week this week? Great, thank you for listening. See you next time.